Hola and welcome to Spanish 101. Today we're going to be talking about ER and IR verbs as well as how to conjugate them in the present tense. So here what I have is the steps of how to conjugate these verbs depending on the person who's doing the action. So one of the first step that you're going to do is you're going to take the verb in the infinitive form, and remember that the infinitive form is just the verb by itself. It's the verb that it's not conjugated in any in any tense or any person. So here we have two examples, comer and vivir. One is an IR verb and the other one is an ER verb. So once you have the verb, the second step is omit the last two letters, in this case ER and IR, and keep the stem on the verb. In this case, we have the stem for comer, which is this, and then the stem for vivir, which is this. And once you have that, we're going to add the appropriate ending depending on who is doing the action. Okay? So, for example, if you have the pronoun yo, you're gonna use this ending. If you have the pronoun tu, it's gonna be this ending. And the cool thing about it is that some of them are going to share the same. For example, the yo, tu, él, ella, usted, and these ones are going to share the same ending no matter if it's an IR or an ER. However, the only thing that you have to be aware of is in nosotros and vosotros. They have different endings depending on the verb that you're trying to conjugate. Okay? So now that we know this, let's do some practice. So the first verb we have here is abrir, and first of all, if you want to pause the video, work on them, and then press play, this is your time to do it. Okay, so now we're going to check and see how to conjugate these verbs. So for the third person masculine, él, and we can look back and just, so for él the ending is going to be NE. So remember that the accent is super important in the pronoun él, and then we omit that, él abre. Okay? And just to point out, we have the definite article él, which is to describe a noun, for example, el perro. So to make a difference between the two, to differentiate between the two, you have to make the accent so they know what you're using. So that's just for you to be aware of. Okay, so the second verb is aprender, which means to learn. And we're going to conjugate it to the first person plural, nosotros. Okay, so, and let's see. We can go back and see. Okay, so we have to make sure which one it is. So it's an ER. So the ending for that is hemos. Okay, so nosotros aprendemos. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. The third one is asistir, which means to attend. And we're going to conjugate it to the second person formal. So just wanted to point out that here we have the second person informal, tu, and the second person formal, which is usted. That's something important in Spanish, but you just have to be aware that they have different endings. So for this one, we're going to use e, and just for you to remember, él, ella, and usted, they share the same ending, which is nice, so it's not hard to remember. So, usted asiste. Okay? Next one, beber, which is to drink. We're going to omit that. So, yo bebo. The next one, creer, to believe. And we're going to do it for the third person, plural, and feminine. So let's go back. So third person plural and feminine, ellas, and it has the ending. Ellas, okay. We take that, we keep an E, and then we just add the S string. And the last one, that will be the second person informal. Remember, this one has an accent as well. Tú escribes. Okay? Perfect. So if you got the same results, nice job, well done. And if you had some ones that were missed, that were incorrect, just keep practicing, keep conjugating. Hopefully by now you're more confident in this. I will suggest for you to keep trying to remember them and keep practicing. Use flashcards, use memorization a lot, and this will help you increase your vocabulary a lot. So if you can do this, this will help your spoken Spanish as well as your grammar and writing as well.